Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about The Flash, Season 3, Episode 14. It's called Attack on Central City. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. So this is the quasi part 2, of the two-parter, which are fairly standalone, but obviously connected with the gorillas at the core of it.
And the twin naming system.
Yeah, obviously. It was also kind of the Valentine's Day episode.
No, I thought it was weird when Supergirl had theirs a week late, but this is a full 2 weeks late now.
Aye. Although,
Two weeks tonight.
arguably though, they do kind of explain it away because he says it's the Earth 19 version of Valentine's Day, which for all we know is
Well,
this
no,
week.
I would have accepted that if we hadn't seen before that Barry had already put a lot of effort into their apartment clearly for Valentine's.
Okay, sure. I will maintain though that no one actually says the words it's Valentine's Day.
I mean, technically, no.
Technicalities.
Fine. I'll allow a technicality there.
As for this episode, I enjoyed it. I think there was some great stuff in here. In fact, I would say I actually really enjoyed it. It's just that the actual guerrilla invasion part of it was maybe not as impressive as perhaps you were hoping.
Yeah, do you know what? It reminds me of the end of last season, where when Zoom came through and he brought the whole army with him, and then that was kind of it. They had like one scene, and then they were just dealt with.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it's a similar way. It was like, oh, you got a massive, impressive army. It looks awesome, all stood up on that cliff.
Yeah, but
Cool. We'll see them for 6 seconds.
yeah, the actual fight when Solivar showed up and it was them fighting. That was like
That was pretty good.
I'm watching Grodd and Solivar fight on a roof.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Like there's some fun moments like that. I do want to point out though, I was really so Grodd gets a general to try and launch a nuke,
Yeah.
and Barry gets to the launcher, and it's like, oh, it's a keypad.
Brute forcing it.
Yeah, and it's a keypad, but it won't like go off if you like enter the wrong code. So just super speed, type in all the codes. But the whole time I was thinking, can't he just like phase his hands into the launcher and take out the missiles so there's nothing to launch?
Probably could.
Just it felt like more of a surefire hit.
I'll be
to
honest.
me.
I also leapt to brute force in the keypad. But, like that would have been my instinct.
Fair, but then this is getting really nitpicky here. But would the keys actually register all the presses that quickly? I don't think they could physically handle it.
Probably
They'd
not.
probably just disintegrate.
Probably.
So, I think my way is the more sound. If we accept there's a man who can phase through objects, my way is more sound scientifically.
Sure. I can't really argue
And
that.
I'll admit that's a bit of a leap to say, except the man can phase through objects. But if you do accept that, I think taking the missiles out with phasing
Okay, that's fair.
would have worked. But
Martian Manhunter would have had that covered, no problem.
oh, of course, yeah. So the big thing for me in this, and actually, like, despite those complaints, I actually did like. There's almost nothing I disliked in this episode. Like, I actually liked the. It's just because it was promised as the guerrilla invasion, and the actual invasion was pretty slim. But yeah, a
Yeah, it
nice
was.
standoff moment. You know, all three speedsters. We've never seen them all three of them together like this before, all suited
No, that
up.
was cool.
So that was nice and whatever. But it
Then
was.
Barry goes down like a chump while the others are
does.
doing cool stuff.
But it just obviously was very short and didn't get a lot of it. I think they spent more money on last week's episode, and last week had the big, Gorilla City. It was a bit more. I left that feeling, oh man, that was impressive for what it was. And this week there was some good stuff. Don't get me wrong. Grodd standing in his armor looked cool, and all the rest of it.
That's the thing. That first shot with them on the cliff, with him in his armor, and then pans around. It's like, oh, this looks impressive. It's like, oh, this could be good. And
really,
it just never lived up to that.
Yeah, we really could have used a couple of scenes of them like terrorizing the streets and like smashing things and
Yeah.
whatnot before. Because especially since they're standing in the middle of this street and it feels like it's the middle of the city, and like what they didn't do anything until they got there.
Just walked through. Yeah.
Just walked there till the middle. Yeah.
Had a gentle stroll.
I also feel like before this episode, they never actually implied at all that there was this much forest around. I feel like they just added all that because they wanted the shot where it looks like the jungle and then it spins and it's
Yeah, I
the
agree.
city.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's surrounded by forest usually, but whatever.
It doesn't.
But the big thing for me in this episode, the big thing that I really liked, and I thought I wasn't going to like it at first, I got really worried, because this is why Oliver shouldn't be killing people, because poor Barry's getting ideas. He's like, Oliver's killing people. It's like, no, he's a poor influence. God damn it. Right. However, Iris hits back with a fantastic speech about being a hero and says, you know what? If saving me is if the cost of saving me is you sacrificing your morals and not being the hero you're supposed to be, it's not worth it. Let me die. Round of applause for that woman.
Yeah.
God
yeah,
damn it, yes. Loved every bit of it. And then Harry as well, his speech, I actually really liked one of his lines. He was talking about how I've done a lot of things I've regretted, because Barry says, oh, you'd have killed people to save Jesse. He's like, yeah, I've done lots of things I regret. And every time I do one, it makes it easier to do the next one. Yeah. I really like that line. That was a really good line. So, no, I thought all the speeches to Barry was like, no, don't be a tit, don't kill. What makes sure the Flash is that you are a hero and you don't do that. And
yeah,
I
unlike
appreciate
some
all that.
people.
Unlike some Green Archer people. So no, I really liked all that, and I thought that was to me that was the highlight, the standout stuff of the episode. But we had other fun stuff. Obviously, apparently on Earth 9, no, on Earth. Who said the Star Killer line? It was Earth 19. It was Gypsy.
It was Earth 19. It was Gypsy.
Yeah, it was Gypsy. I was just trying to remember if it was Earth 2 or Earth 19, but yeah. Calling back Star Wars trivia, if you didn't know it, Skywalker was originally Star Killer, so that's what that was a reference to. So they had that. Although Earth 2 still has Rocky, because Harry kept making Rocky references, so that's...
Also, I loved everything between Harry and HR.
Oh, yeah, him playing off himself was...
I love how he carries himself just completely differently for each one, where it doesn't even feel like it's the same actor when they're playing off each other.
What's funny, actually, is when Harry tells Wally, or he implies that he's dying, I thought that was quite stilted, so I was actually... Obviously, I don't want him to die anyway, but I was relieved in two ways when it turned out to be a lie, because I was like, oh, that makes sense why it felt fake, because it was fake.
Yeah.
That's okay, that's actually good.
I loved it when he was like, I just said I didn't know how much time I got left.
That's true. That's true for everyone.
I loved that.
Don't know how much time you've got left there. Actually, the biggest laugh I got, though, might have been... it was after the emotional scene, I think, with Jesse confronting him about it. Actually, no, that happened during the scene. It was... Who was this? There was an emotional scene. I think it may have been Wally and Harry. I don't know. It was an emotional scene between two people. I can't remember what scene it was, but it just cut to Joe sitting there with the metal thing in his head, and he just had like these wide eyes. He just looked terrified, and it cracked me up.
I don't know. The one that really did it for me, that I had to pause it for a second, just because it came out of nowhere, was when the gorillas are coming down, the bats come down the street, and HR goes, 2 minutes, everyone, and Harry just goes, 10 seconds. Can you not tell the time? It killed me.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. So we got Jessie, seemingly permanently now. She stays on Earth 1, and she gets confused when they're watching an old movie at the end, her and Wally, because she's like, what, is this about the War of the Americas? Referencing Earth 2 history, which we don't have. Which fun stuff. Which is actually the tag, which I thought was weird to be the tag at first, and then he goes to get a big belly burger, and Savitar shows up, leading credence to one of the theories that's actually kicking around, I think.
Yeah, and there was a really foreshadowy line as well, where it was
should I explain the theory first before?
Yeah,
explain the foreshadowing line. Yeah, so one of the theories is that it's actually Wally's Savitar.
Yeah.
And he's Wally from the future, and that he keeps getting so fast that he loses control, and that he eventually becomes Savitar. Yeah. Which could lead to an interesting... If that is true, I could see it leading to a big thing where they have to talk him down. Like, they have to make him remember who he is, and that's what...
Yeah, there's a few things that have, like, really... hinted at it. There was the one where he learnt to phase and vibrate, and he just does the hand. The music's really ominous as he does the hand through the wood at the end in the tag.
I think obviously showing up to him at the end here when he's shown no interest in Wally up until this point feels like, alright, they're establishing a connection here in a weird way, which could lead to it.
It was Harry said to him, "Oh, don't you hurt her, or I'll kill you," or something like that. And it was whatever it was there. It was really sinister. He was like, "Yeah, okay, I know you might." Something like that.
That'll be interesting. I mean, maybe the way they actually talk him down, like they'll change the future in that they'll have Jesse there, and Jesse will be the one that actually can break through to him.
Could be.
Yeah. So I can see that being how it plays. If that's the case, I mean,
That's something we're just assuming at this point.
It's speculation. So Julian escaped death for 1 week at least because he didn't come to the Valentine's episode to be a couple with.
They couldn't
Caitlin.
afford him for every episode.
Well, to be fair, I'm pretty sure he's a series regular for this season. So I don't think it's a cost thing. I think it's maybe just a case of we've got two Harrys, we've got so much going on, we've got gorillas.
Could well have been.
Maybe it was a case of saving money, but I'm pretty sure if you're a regular, you get like just a set thing for every episode rather than I could be wrong.
Yeah. Maybe it was scheduling. Maybe he had something else he was working on.
Maybe. But
Who knows?
So that was the main stuff. Obviously, some. Oh well, we didn't mention the proposal actually. That's a good point. Which is funny actually. There was a part at the start of this episode where I thought Iris was going to propose to Barry.
Really?
It'd have been really out of place to do it in this scene. It was just the way it was when she said, "Barry, I've got a question to ask you," and she got all serious. And the punchline was, "Will you be my friend?" Because HR's version of the Valentine's Day is called Friends Day.
Yeah.
Because of course it is. But I was like, that almost sounded like it was going to be a proposal until she turned it into a joke. But it's funny when we got to the scene at the end when Barry proposes, I was like, was that intentional foreshadowing?
I'd have to assume so.
Maybe. I don't know. I felt like it.
Maybe that's where he got the idea from.
Maybe. But that proposal was pretty. Iris is in my good books. That speech about not killing people halfway through was phenomenal.
It was a little bit weird we didn't actually see her say yes.
Oh yeah, it cut to the title as if it's a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Which means she might say no.
Yeah, but will she?
I can see her saying no because she might see it as you're just doing this to try and alter the future, and that's not the right reasons.
I suppose.
And she'll be all romantic and say, no, ask me because it's just because you want to ask me, not because...
Yeah.
I can see that kind of thing.
I could see that happening.
Or she'll just have cold feet and she'll say no, or she'll avoid answering for an episode, and at the end of the episode she'll say yes, and that's exactly when Savitar's going to jump out and grab her.
I approve of that.
That's probably more likely, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I think she's going to avoid answering because she feels like, oh, this is a big decision, I need time, and then it'll be an episode of her pondering it.
Yeah, I'd agree if it didn't feel a little bit too early for Savitar to grab her.
It does. I agree with that.Maybe she'll ponder it for multiple episodes.
She'll ponder it for 6.
Dear. But no, actually, it's funny because I have this weird negative complaint in that, the gorilla attack was nowhere near as exciting as it should have been, but at the same time, had I not known what this episode was going to be beforehand, I would be completely satisfied because everything else was great.
I disagree about not knowing what it was beforehand, because once they brought in the army within this episode and set that up,
all right, there
was an expectation.
Sure, when you get that shot of them up in the hill, sure, but like, you know what I mean, though. Like everything else is good. Like everything else is fine. It's just
no, it's very good, and you ultimately feel a little bit underwhelmed, even though everything was solid to very good.
Yeah. I'm quite happy with the episode, actually. It's just the gorilla attack itself wasn't that great. But everything else was good. All the character beats worked pretty well. Everything felt natural. I didn't want to strangle like one half of a couple to the purple.
It was funny a lot.
That was a dig at Mon-El and Supergirl, in case you didn't get that at home. And the cheap seats.
Even on Flash, you have to rip on Mon-El, don't you?
He's crossed the line. Oh, I gotta lie, he's crossed the line for me.
God damn it! You're just inviting hate from those people who, for some reason, love Mon-El.
What, the fans of Caramel?
Yeah, I don't know entirely why, but they're out there somewhere. Maybe watching this, and now they're going, "Damn you, Peter! What are you chatting this shit for?
Do you know what I hate about that shipping name? Is that
Makes you hungry.
yeah, I really like actual caramel with a C, it's spelled with a C,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you're taking something so beautiful and you're applying it to this relationship that I do not approve of. It
They're
upsets me.
bastardizing the word.
They're bastardizing the word. I agree. God. That said, at least it's a fun shipping name.
Yeah,
Unlike,
some of them are pretty awful.
Super Carp. What's for that? Weird. Anyway,
I hope we get Solivar back at some point, because otherwise Keith David was wasted.
although actually, speaking of shipping names, right? I don't think we ever spoke about this on the actual reviews, right? But obviously, when Molly and Jesse seemed like they had an attraction, that'd be a thing. I don't know what the actual shipping name is, but it's not what it should be, because the minute I seen them potentially be a couple, I said their shipping name should be Jelly.
It's hard to argue with that.
Jesse, Wally, Jelly. Perfect. But no, it's something stupid like Wally Quick or something. I don't know what it is, but
Kid Quick.
Kid Quick.
I have no idea.
That sounds like a cereal.
It does sound like a cereal,
Kid Quick.
but that would go nicely with caramel. Maybe.
Are
I
you
don't know, it might be a
pitching
little bit sickly.
Are you pitching some sort of weird 4-way porno now?
I'm just thinking cereal, like this Kid Quick cereal with some caramel. I go for it.
We went off the deep end here.
We really have.
This was a good episode of Flash.
It was very enjoyable.
That one sort of minor to arguably it's a major complaint, but it didn't feel like a major complaint though, because I felt satisfied. I felt like I had a full meal. I felt like
I agree.
it was like I had a full meal, but that one thing on the side, it was like, well, here's what it is. Here's the perfect analogy, right? They gave me a meal that I didn't order, but it was fulfilling and lovely anyway.
Yeah, it is strange, because I feel like we've almost been too negative in this review,
Yeah, 'cause
talking
it was
about
good.
that one thing.
'Cause
But it was a very good episode.
Yeah, everything else was great. Like I say, character beats were all on point. I loved the don't kill people speeches. The two Harrys were really funny. Cisco and Gypsy were fun. Oh, we didn't even mention the Earth 19 Flash, which we see a glimpse of. Who's got like a sort of... Because I was really like, I was sitting thinking, like, is this a speedster that I'm supposed to know? I'm trying to think of any names and I couldn't place them. I think it's just... Here's our wacky scarf-looking Flash from Earth 19.
Yeah, I have to assume so.
Yeah. But fun all the same. But no, it was good. It was pretty good. It was really good, in fact. It was solid. It was great. So, I approve. Flash is... Since it came back after Christmas, Flash has been...
And it's
thumbs up.
certainly the only show that can be very good and still underwhelming at the same time.
Yeah, the underwhelming part's only one thing, though.
Yeah, but when that's the crux of the episode.
Sure, but I don't want to end in a negative note. Damn it. I'm trying to upspin it.
I'm saying it's impressive that it can be both. Like no other show that we watch it does that.
Dear. That's the Flash, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. Let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. Guys on Twitter at @mailed_fuzz. That's for channel updates. Individual Twitters on the screen for general everyday ramblings. And yeah. And I'm pretty sure we've got an episode next week. There's not a break. That's correct? I think I'm right.
Not to my knowledge.
I think I'm right, which is good. I think we've got a few weeks without a break now, which is good. So, good. So yeah, keep watching Flash, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.